chips out. Get your chips out. Get your.
welcome in. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? So we were listening to the funk station, just to be clear. That's what we were listening to. So, hey, Alyssa, good to see you. And it's okay, you can always be late. Like there's no punctuality requirements for this stream. You pop in when you can pop in. It's all good. Um, so welcome in everybody. Hello, Anita. Hello, Sophia, and congratulations, Auntie Sophia, on the new baby in the fam. So that is awesome. And Anita, thank you for hanging with us while you can. Also awesome. Alyssa is trying to get better at better active time. No, I understand what you mean. Completely. I completely understand what you mean. So, how's everybody doing? Sophia says, my grocery store has continued selling cheap watermelon, so rip my wallet. Yeah. We love it when they carry shit we like, but we also hate it when they carry shit we like. Ain't that the damn truth? So, so y'all remember back in December that December or January we replaced our whole HVAC system, our air conditioning and heating, uh, and spent $13,000 on it. Yeah, that AC cannot heat the upstairs. I mean, cannot cool the upstairs of my house. We are inching like the last several days. So we're having a heat wave, which is, normal. Um, but the temperatures here haven't even reached 100 yet. They've been in the low to mid 90s. And this air conditioning unit cannot keep my upstairs below 80 degrees. So I have fans, I've got a handheld fan, I've got a USB fan, and I've got my ceiling fan, which I don't love. Um, so so yeah, so I'm super annoyed. So I'm waiting for my husband to call them, but he hasn't yet because apparently only work is like only his job gets priority over anything. So like everything else falls by the wayside. So just the job and that's it. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you for the contributions to the 6 hour stream. Yes. So you can contribute a total of 2,000 points per day that I stream. So yes, feel free to just throw all your points in there. Alyssa says I'm fasting at the moment since a friend wants me to meet up with her for a big buffet. Yum. Well, then I'm glad I finished my breakfast before the camera turned on. So, so yeah. Sophia says, have you done the homemade AC trick with a fan facing an open window to let it suck the warm air out of the room? Yeah, no, I haven't because I don't open the windows when it's this hot. But the fans have helped. And we've gotten because our bedroom, the way it's situated, it's always been the hottest part of the house because it is the only part of the house that got sunlight through the afternoon on the roof. And so it was always really hot. So years ago we had bought a portable AC unit, which is it's humongous and heavy. So it's not really portable, but it's not a window unit. I wanted to get a window unit. He didn't want to get a window unit, whatever. So at least we can keep that room like it used to be that if I walked through the doorway, you could feel the temperature increase by like 5 to 8 degrees. But now it's like the whole upstairs. And, we've got brand new insulation in most of the roof because, our roof was demolished in 2023. So, like, yeah, I'm not real happy with this. Um, so, but the thing is, the downstairs, the basement where my husband's office is freezing. Like he's literally like closing vents because it's cold down there, but yet it's sweltering upstairs. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. Um, let's see. Alyssa says, I'm going to try similar on my main account, still having coffee. Yeah, I finished my coffee um right before I ate my breakfast. Let's see. After many years of dying from the heat in my old apartment, this new one is actually cool. Yay. Due just almost over, and I still haven't gotten my fan out for the bedroom. That is awesome. Yay. Yay. So, even when, and it's not like I even keep the temperature bad. Like I set it to start in the morning at 7 o'clock and to try to get it to 72. And then in the day, I move it up to like 75 because honestly, I don't need it colder than that because colder than that and I'm cold. But it can't, like when I got up this morning at like 9, whatever it was, um, the upstairs was already 74. It can't even, it can't even get it down to 72. So, like, it's awful. It's awful. So, what's everybody working on today? As you can see, on the wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where's my spirit city? There it is. Okay. I have our cute little kitty here. And so while my Spirit City character is sipping coffee, we're actually going to change her to typing. No, writing? No. Knitting. Look, the kitty's playing with the ball of yarn. How cute is that? I just wanted to show y'all. And gaming. Look, the kitty's gaming. Anyway, I'm so glad that they added things for them to do. That makes me happy. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they're not just like sitting there. So yeah, so they're super adorbs. It makes me happy. And of course I made her pink for Pride Week, or for Pride Month rather. So so yeah, and she's got a cute little flower in her hair. I don't know if you can see it. So I need to assemble a new anthology of stories in a single setting. Yeah, you mean an anthology or a collection? Because an anthology is with other authors and a collection is all your work. So are you doing an anthology for submissions, or is this a collection of your own work? Yes, yay, Pride! So yes. Yes, we are all Pride. We are decked out in Pride. And honestly, let me do the full view. So this is my pretty room. So I think did I do I want to see, did I do the kitchen? No, I did not. So okay, sorry. Let me get back to where we were. No, that's not right. Fireplace. That's where we were. All right. Yeah, I didn't redo the whole sort of apartment thing because that just takes too much time. Ah, collection. Okay, cool. I'm wearing all black still, not doing much on my trans rep. You don't have to you have to wear you're trans. You don't have to wear clothes to represent trans. You like are literally living it. So you're fine, girl. You're fine. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. I already have 20 minutes on the clock. So I'm going to be working on this short story. It's got a max of 7,500 words. I am currently at 2,730. So I really want to try to get this done in the next couple days. I've already got it all plotted out, so that's not a problem. It's just getting the scenes down, getting the scenes written. So so yeah, I think I've written 3 and I've got 3 more. Let me double check again. Yeah, I've written 3. Well, I'm at the end of the 3rd scene, and then I've got 3 more scenes to go. So so yeah. Well, I am gorgeous today, even without makeup. Of course you are. So am I. So yes. All right. What's everybody else working on today? So I'm assuming, Alyssa, that you're working on putting together your collection. So awesome. Awesome. You can see I've switched to cold drinks from my hot drinks. So so now you know it's officially summer. All right, so what's everybody else working on? Sophia, what you got on deck? Anita, I know you've only got a little bit of time with us, but what are you working on? Let me see if anybody's over at YouTube. I'm also streaming on YouTube today. So So if you're over on YouTube, I don't think anybody's on YouTube, but if you're on YouTube, say something in the chat so that I know you're on YouTube. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, reminder music. Thank you. Yeah, oh, you decided on synthwave. Thank you for the reminder because I absolutely needed it. I forgot. Let me switch over to synthwave, get that queued up. All right. So paused and okay. So it is ready. Thank you for the reminder. Editing chapter 15. Excellent. Alyssa says dark fantasy stories. That's so cool. Then more effort to get amazing things in line for publishing, writing, etc. Alyssa could be on YouTube. You don't have to be on YouTube. You're already here. It's fine. But we can like people can do whichever they're more comfortable with. So yeah, so I'm working on this pirate short story. I have like the submission deadline is Monday, and I'm going to be in Alabama like most of Saturday and Sunday morning. So we'll see how this all goes. I may be doing some all-nighters. I also have to have my Dragon Con schedule into the database by Monday. So Monday is all the deadlines. So all right. Anita is trying to write a flash fiction. Excellent, excellent. All right, well, I feel like we are ready. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer, start the music, and we'll get into this. All right, wait, hang on. Oh, okay, I'm going to turn off the mic though. Let's do it. Oh, hey, y'all, that snuck up on me. Hang on. Hang on. I was not ready. I was writing. All right. I got just a little under 100 words of the actual story, but I had to write some notes about they're getting ready to do a ritual, and I had to think about, I mean, I'd already thought about it, but I wanted to get it down, like what things they needed, what items that they needed to have, and what they all mean. So I worked on that for the first probably 60% of the sprint. So yeah. So I've got about, I don't know, 85 words or something of the actual story. All right. Excuse me, sorry. Sophia got some page edited, added a fun thing. We like fun things. We do. Alyssa says, sounds like the sort of notes I need to make when I go back to my sci-fi. Yeah, this is so I was originally going to write a short story and then it became a world, which means it's not going to fit in a short story. So then I had to make up a new short story, but it's still in the same world. So I need to keep track of all this stuff, right? And I just put all these things kind of in one part of my Scrivener notes, but I'm also, after I finish the story, I'm going to take those and like I'm going to make like an item list of the things that my characters have that help them with their magic, so that I have a specific place to go when I'm looking for, okay, what would they use for this? What would they use for that? So, so let's see. Anita got a good chunk of the story written. Excellent. Ah. Alyssa says, I'm still organizing pieces for what I'm assembling on that collection. Yes. Awesome. Fabulous. Okay, Sophia bought more music, so we're going to keep that music going. Oh, look, we leveled up. Hang on. Yay! We leveled up. Okay. Shall we get back into it then? Shall we get back into it? Okay, I've got another 20 minutes on the clock. Let's go, y'all. right. Phew. Thank you, Anita, for your continued subscription. Ah, yay. And also, congratulations, Alyssa, finding another story. Yay. That's awesome. How did everybody do? I found this annoying issue. I have to figure it out in Scrivener's uh settings, but whenever I make a new like a new text item and add to it, automatically is added to the compile, even if it's not in the draft section. And that means it's throwing off my today's word count in just like the main thing where I look at how many words I've done today versus how many words I still have left. Because it counts that in that total. And even if I then uncheck the include in the thing, it doesn't then take that out. So I've got to figure out where that is in the Scrivener settings and turn it off, because yeah, that's annoying. So all right, let's see. The joys of working on a setting for years and years. Sophia finished editing chapter 15. Great job. Great job. And Anita finished the Flash story. Yes. Yes. And Jay, welcome in, my friend. Not in the zone yet. That's okay. Get settled. It's cool. We're going to take a little break, so you'll have a few minutes to settle in. Sophia says, I will continue doing the final edits and drafting of chapter 7 for this week's upload. Excellent. Jay says, another day getting called everything in the book. Honey, let it roll off your skin, just like water off a duck's back, as one of my favorite queens is as apt to say. Just let it go. Let it roll off. It has nothing to do with you. Let it roll off. You are in your space now. You are with your people. Don't worry about what those other people say or do or whatever. Not your business. That's one of my favorite things. I have a very close friend who is in recovery. And one of the things in recovery is what other people think of me is none of my business. And so even if somebody is awful to me, if they say awful things, that's none of my business. That's them. That's the them thing. That's not a me thing. That's a them thing. I know it's hard to do in the moment and it still hurts. And that's okay. It's okay to feel hurt or to feel angry or to feel annoyed or defensive or whatever. That's okay. Those are all natural. But after you come out of that initial feeling, that initial emotional response, just remember that's a them thing. That ain't a you thing, girl. That ain't a you thing. So, all right. But we're going to take a little break because I am almost out of tea, y'all. So I'm going to go down, refill. 5 minutes on the clock. Okay. So if you need something to eat or something to drink, or you need to use the facilities, this is a perfect time to do those things. If you've been sitting this whole time, please at least get up out of your chair and stretch your body a little so you don't get too stiff. When you're old like me, you will appreciate not being too stiff. And here's a quick reminder, if you have not as yet taken your meds, and you should be taking your meds by now, please take a second to do that because we want you around for as long as possible. All right, I'm going to be right back. Y'all be right back. We'll meet back here and then get going again. All right? Okay. Sorry, I was grooving. I was moving and grooving, y'all. Moving and grooving. So, all right. So I got some tea. I am ready to get back into it. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of expected from old people because they're not really present anymore. So, yeah, my great grandmother, she lived to be 99. And in those last couple years, she was pretty awful. But before that, like she was very much, she was kind of she is a quiet matriarch of our family. Like she was always the sort of woman that she had strong opinions and she gave them to you if you wanted them, but she wasn't belligerent, she wasn't mean. She was always very kind and she kept her peace. You know what I mean? And she was just this amazing, wonderful, strong woman. And but when she was in her very last years, she was like, before that, if she said the word damn, you knew that you were in trouble. So, but in those later years, she was pretty awful. So, yeah. So, my grandpa was always irritable. Once he begged me for a drink of water when he was in the hospital. For once he wasn't brusque. I found out he wasn't supposed to have that. Of course. Yeah. Front lobe temporal dementia comes with massive personality changes, and this particular one is currently dying. So if she needs to yell, she's allowed to. That's my thought too. Whatever you got to do in those moments. My line of work, we often encountered dementia patients. Yeah, my stepdad, he had dementia and Alzheimer's. Um, but he was never mean. He ended up being very meek, which was interesting because he was very strong-willed prior, when he was younger. So he wasn't an asshole or anything, but he was, and he was rational. Like, if you wanted to discuss a thing with him, he was fine. He wasn't a jerk, but he was very much like he is very close to like the epitome of what I think a good man is, right? He didn't have to belittle people in order for him to feel masculine and stuff like that. And so he became very meek as the dementia and the Alzheimer's took hold. It like the whole thing is so sad. It's so hard for everyone, right? Um, let's see. Alyssa says it was likely the last drink of water he had. Whew. Jay says I got accused of stealing from someone I never met. I answered the call and they jumped in full force. You took my ring. Okay. It seems like they were like not really living in our dimension. Um, yes, Alzheimer's is dementia, but he also had vascular dementia. So he had two different types of dementia. So, yeah, he was diagnosed with vascular dementia first, and we knew he would end up with Alzheimer's because pretty much everyone in his family who lived to old age had Alzheimer's. But when we went in initially, they said no, it was not Alzheimer's. It At that point, it was this particular thing, and then the Alzheimer's happened. Um, so Jay said, oh, I'm sorry, it is the most common form of dementia. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. But he didn't just have that form of dementia. He had multiple forms of dementia. That was my point. Um, and I know because I went to all the doctor's appointments with him, and I'm the one who was there when they told us the vascular dementia diagnosis. And I said, wait, isn't that Alzheimer's? And he said, no. So, like, I promise you, I know what his diagnoses were. So let's see. Jay says, turns out the ring was stolen 40 years ago. Okay, so this is somebody who obviously is not living in the current here and now. So that had nothing to do with you. Again, that had nothing to do with you, Jay. Nothing. Hang on, all my stuff just fell over. Oy! I have things very precariously balanced over here, and it all just fell over. All right. Yes, that is awful. That is awful. But you know what? Put it out of your mind. You're here with us now. You're here with us now. Ooh, and it's starting to get hot. Ooh, 79 degrees. We're going to unplug this fan now that it's charged, and we're going to set this thing up because y'all, it's getting hot up in here. Let me put my thing over there. Let me set this up here. This is super cool. It's got like, you can stand it up like this, or you can clip it to something. And so I'm going to clip it to the end of the table here. If my hands will be strong enough. There we go. All right. Okay, that's not going to work. Okay, that's just not very stable, but that's fine. It'll be fine. Ah, very nice. Okay. All right. Yes, with your peoples. We are here with you, Jay. Sophia says another of the old ladies at my job thinks someone went into her room to replace her shoes with identical ones, except these new ones had like gravel stuck in the grooves under the soles. Whew. Y'all, I'm scared of getting old. I ain't gonna lie. I don't have any kids, so there ain't gonna be nobody to take care of my ass. So I hope I get someone as compassionate as you, Sophia, when I am in the old ladies' home. So yes, yes, absolutely. So all right, let us get back into it. We have music again this round, thanks to Sophia. Thank you, my friend. All right, I have got 20 minutes on the clock. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I wrote about 300 words that last round. No, that's not right. That's not right. I have the wrong thing in here. I wrote about 240 words, I guess. So that's what I did last round. So that's pretty cool. All right. Okay. I don't need to use that timer. I keep trying to use the red timer, and I'm like, I'm not using that right now. All right. Shall we get into it now that I've got my shit sorted? Sort of. All right. 20 minutes. Let's go.
Rosie Evenstar 21 just subscribed for 28 months. Wow.
right. Welcome in, Rose and Ariel. Good to see you both. Good to see you both. For those of you who don't know, Rose has some excellent news. She is a finalist for, I don't know what the official name of it is. Is it the Maggies? Is that what it is? Um, Give us the official spiel in the chat. Rose, tell us what it is officially. Um, let's see. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Yes, finalist for the Georgia Romance Writers pre-published Maggie Award for Excellence. So, yes, in contemporary romance. Yes, that is awesome. So, for those who don't know, the Georgia Romance Writers does a convention here in Atlanta in the summer every year called Midnight Magnolias. Is that what it is? Um, so they've been doing. They used to be part of RWA, but then broke off after that whole mess happened several years ago. Um, and so they've been doing the Maggies for a long time. So yeah, so it's very exciting. Very exciting. So yes. Excellent, excellent. All right, how'd everybody do that round? I didn't do as well as the other round, but I still got words. About I think about 70 words ish. Um I was struggling because I don't want a thing to be super obvious, so I was doing a lot of noodling about it. Posture check. Thank you, Jay. All right. Shoulders back, head up. Also, my fan is coming from this direction, but it's drying out my right eye. So I keep like trying to move it in a way that it's not doing that. So, and also my cat came in and she needed to be brushed because she loves this wire bristle brush that we've got. She loves it. So she comes in and meows at me to brush her. So I had to do that. Um, let's see. Moonlight Magnolias. That's it. Thank you. Um, and Rose is hoping to go to that. Alyssa is writing some poems to splice into the collection. That's awesome. Sophia's still working on chapter 7. Hi, yay! Hello, hello, Coral. Oh, wait, hang on. It scrolled. Welcome in, Coral. Um, you must be a writer, or they might ask, are you a poet, or something else along those lines. It's really affirming. Yes. Yes, I had somebody complain. I wrote a big long post, comment to this pretty awful um, status someone posted the other day. And I pretty much wrote the way I talk about racism and stuff. And they were like, your problem is you're talking with academic terms and in an academic way when that's not what racism means in the real world. And I'm just like, y'all, I'm not even an academic. Yes, I went to school, but I'm just talking. This is how I talk. Anyway, I've not been active for at least a couple years at this point, so it's really affirming. That's awesome. Awesome. Jay is still in the quagmire. No, you are in the writing trenches. It's not a quagmire. You've got it sorted. You'll get it sorted. Um, you're welcome, Rose. Always happy to call people out when they've got good news. So let's see. Coral says you don't have to be working on a manuscript to be a writer. That's right. If you're a writer, you just are. If you write, you're a writer. You know that I'm 100% with you. Anita booked J.D. Barker as a guest on the podcast and went back to editing the Evil Chicken story. I love it. Errol said, probably not writing today, but I did make progress last night, so I'm content with that. I know, and you're very close. I saw your update in the group. So yes. Coral says that's the thing about creativity at its core. It's a trait, not about productivity. It never has been. Agreed. Agreed. Rose says, ha ha ha, we've been giving our long-haired cat a pseudo sponge bath to help with dry skin, and now she's constantly wanting at the bathroom door because she loves it. Yes. Um, Jay says, I feel like I should be working on my urban fantasy book too, but I'm diverting to my alternate history. Here's the thing I'm noticing about you, Jay. Whatever you're working on, there's a part of your mind that's always telling you that you should be working on something else. And so that is the part of your mind that's trying to undermine you. It's trying to tell you you're doing things wrong. Because at this point, it doesn't matter. Because if you're working on book two, it's telling you should be working on book one. When you're working on book one, it's telling you should be working on book two. There's no way you can win with this voice. So stop listening to it. Stop listening to it. Just be like, yeah, okay, I got you. Like, as if a white woman walked up to you and told you you needed to change your hair. Just be like, all right, thanks for your opinion. I got my life to live, right? Just don't just don't even worry about it because that voice is never going to be happy no matter what you do. So stop putting so much emphasis or stop putting so much weight on it being right because it's not right. It's always going to be wrong. Um, so, Sophia says, as a non English native speaker, I need to tell you that quagmire is the funniest word in your entire language. We do have some funny words. How did you even get that word? Go, yes, I want to hear when you figure out the etymology of it. I want to hear back. Jay says, I read too damn much. According to some of my family members, there's no such thing as too much. No, keep reading. Right. But we got another sprint to do. I've got more words to get down. Y'all do too, in whatever way. It used to be Quakemire. All right. I'm not sure that that's makes any more sense, but all right. All right. I mean, the English language is just so fucked. We're just so weird. All right. Anyway, enough about that. We could talk about that forever. But we're not gonna because we're gonna get back to work. Whatever you're working on, if you haven't let us know what you're working on, please go ahead and do that. Yeah, now I'm even more confused, right? That makes even less sense. So, all right. I mean, but that's English for you, right? There's never been a requirement for English to make sense, clearly. All right, but let's go. 20 minutes. Here we go. Right. Excuse me. Okay, I was all in it. I was doing a little bit of research on a couple things. My story is set in Savannah, and I've been to Savannah, and I know, a little about Savannah, but I needed some details. So I spent probably a pretty good portion of that. I wrote a little bit, maybe 50 words, and then the rest of it was various other things. Let's stretch, y'all. Yeah, I need that for sure. I also relocated my fan to behind me, and I have a mesh chair, so that should help. So now my eyes are less dry. Oh, y'all, my shoulder blades are sore. Okay, and the other side. Oi. Okay. Sophia's still editing. Awesome, awesome. Jay has to do research for the alt history. Yes, that's probably one of, like, any kind of historical is probably one of the most research intensive genres, I think. So, yeah. Anita did some more editing. Have to prepare for the podcast now. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Anita. Thank you so much. We may or may not be here when you're done, but if not, I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. So, Alyssa gave herself time to chill. Got to do some bill paying too. Yes. Time to chill is important. Um, Ariel took a shower and started writing when she was done because she forgot that taking a shower is a source of inspiration. But you were clearly reminded. So that's awesome. Like, it's really fabulous that you've got a thing that you can do that will help jumpstart your writing. That is awesome. Don't forget that. Write yourself a note to remind yourself of that. Anita says the podcast is at 3 p.m. Oh, so that's it for you. Okay, gotcha. Awesome. Research is a bit more tricky when it involves cultures that hardly have recorded history. 100%. It can be tricky, but that also gives you some freedom, right? Because nobody can say that you're wrong. Nobody can say you've done it wrong if there's no research to that. But it does make finding the research sometimes more challenging because it's not usually as readily accessible. So, Ariel says that and cooking seems to spark some ideas. And that makes sense because your body is on sort of autopilot. Even with cooking, yeah, you have to pay attention to certain things, right? You can't let the stove catch on fire, but it can be very auto. Okay, I need to cut a thing. So you cut the thing, right? You don't have to do a lot of thinking to cut a thing. You just have to make sure you're not going to cut your finger off. And it's the same with showering. I don't know about you, but like I have a set like I do this and then I do this and then I do this and then I do this, right? So it's also and so it gives your mind a chance to not have to focus on what you're doing so much and it can do its own thing. So yeah. Jay says, but it's fun at the same time. I guess for me as a history major. Hello, fellow history major. So yeah, same. And for me, history was always like the thing I love about history isn't the stuff that happened. It's the people it happened to. That's what always drew me to history. It wasn't, oh, this happened on this date and, this battle, these things happened. I don't give a fuck about what happened. I want to know about the experiences of the people that those things happened to. I want to hear their stories. So, yeah. So that's why I was a history major, if I'm being 100% honest. It wasn't about the history, this happened and then this happened and then this happened. It was, hey, this person experienced this thing and that person experienced that thing. So, yeah. Ooh, FedEx is in the driveway. I probably should have told my husband that. Yeah. Oh, it's for the neighbor, I think. Let's see. FedEx and they drive at least for the neighbor. So now I get to see if he's going to come in here. And they kind of snuck in because I did not even see them coming. Hubby's on a call anyway. Okay. Okay, they're leaving. They're leaving anyway. Okay. All right. So, sorry about that, y'all. But we get a little breaky break right now. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I do need to top off my tea at least a little. So I'm going to run off camera. So if you need something to eat, something to drink, use the facilities. That's what we've set this time aside for. You don't have to do those things, but this is a good, convenient time for those things. If you've been sitting this whole time, please take Jay's suggestion and get up and stretch your bod. Because, again, when you get old, things get stiff. Things that you don't want to get stiff. It's awful. All right. And final reminder, if you have not as yet taken your meds, and you should have taken your meds by now, please take them. I just finished my meds, as a matter of fact. So, all right. I will be back in 5 minutes. Well, probably less than 5 minutes. And I'll meet you back here. Let's be right back. I'm back. Hang on. All the things. I got sidetracked, y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. Oi. Come on back, everybody. We're going to do this all again. Huzzah. Oops. Why are you not working? Why are you not plugged in properly? What's going on here? I'm trying to charge my phone, but apparently there we go. All right. It's being a little temperamental. Okay. I'm going to finish doing that little bit of research that I needed to do, and then I'm going to get back into it. Are y'all ready to get going again? Let me pull the timer over here. Y'all with me? Y'all still out there? Come on now. We ready? At 20 minutes on the clock. Let's do the thing. Here we go. Okay, that was the timer, y'all. Come on back. Come on back. How did you do this round? I got some words. Uh, Probably 150 maybe ish, something like that. Um, so yeah. So my main character is gathering up all the things she's going to need for the containment ritual she's about to do. So yeah. Yeah. Researching and writing at the same time and got some words. Awesome. We both got some words. Huzzah. Yay. All right, how'd everybody else do? So we're coming into the final sprint of the stream. We'll make this one slightly longer at 25 minutes. And I'm gonna go find, so no music this sprint. So if you want to buy music, you'll have to wait till tomorrow because I have to go find somebody to raid. So that means having my sound on. So yeah. Ariel wrote a few paragraphs trying not to get hung up on inconsistent points of view. Absolutely, because you can fix that shit in the edits. No problem. My main character is having an encounter. That's very exciting. That's awesome. That's awesome. Ray, welcome in, friend. Even though it's at the end, that's okay. We're going to raid. You'll be able to do more work. Just starting to organize revision plans based on beta reader feedback. Wasn't going to start this until July, but it's a low-key thing, which I need right now. Absolutely. And, you know, it's only a week away from July, so it's fine. Ain't nobody says you got to stick to previous plans. You can do whatever the hell you want. Chapter edited and drafted from Sophia. Great job. Huzzah. Yay. Uh, Jay says this encounter is the catalyst. Excellent. We do love an inciting incident. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Alyssa, how's the collection going? How's the collection going? Rose, are you still out there? I know you're doing day job stuff. Oh, you need to send stuff to betas too. Yeah, I've got one or two people I'm gonna send this story to if I can get it done today or tomorrow. So Sophia said, I'm working tomorrow night, but might pop in to say hi towards the end, but I'll come to co-working on Friday if that's on. That is absolutely on unless something crazy happens. But otherwise, yes, we are doing co-working on Friday. So yeah. All right. So I have 25 minutes on the clock now. I'm gonna go find us somebody to raid, and then I'm gonna go back to doing my writing. And I want to try to at least get this scene done where she's gathered everything she needs, so that after the stream I can start the actual where she and the other character are doing the actual containment thing. So yeah. So Alyssa's posted Patreon stuff to hype the collection. Shared a poem for free and a song for the paid tier. That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of my things. I have to revamp my Patreon because I think I'm just going to change it to where, you know, everybody gets what they get. Everybody gets the same thing. Like the free people get something and then the paid people will get additional things and people can pay at whatever the level they want, but they're not necessarily going to get a lot of extra at the higher levels. It's really just about, you know, supporting me and what I'm doing. So yeah, so that's one of the things I have to do because it's too much. Like I promised a bunch of things and I did them for a while and then I just got overwhelmed because, you know, trees falling and all the things. And it just and then the guilt spiral, y'all know the guilt spiral where you haven't done a thing. And this can apply to anything. This can apply to returning somebody's phone call. It can apply to confirming something. It can apply to something like what I'm talking about, but it's where you should have done the thing by X time and you didn't, but then you probably still had a little bit more time, but you still didn't because you felt guilty because you didn't do it by X time. And then more time goes by and then you feel more guilty and you still continue to not do it until it's been so long that you're just like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. And you cannot bring yourself to do the thing. Yeah, that's what it's been like for me. So yes, Alyssa, you're welcome to post a link to your Patreon here. Um, Sophia says, personally, I don't support creators based on what they give me. I support them if I like them and can afford it. And it doesn't involve giving money to Google, Meta, or Amazon. Yeah, understood. Absolutely. And that's kind of where I'm going. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Like, I'm going to take down all the things that are like, I'm going to give you this and this and this. And people will get free stuff. But, like, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's too much. It's just too much. So, all right. But enough of that. I'm going to go find somebody to raid, y'all. Here we go. 25 minutes. Final sprint of the stream. We're going to end it strong. Yeah? Yeah? Let's go. Okay, y'all, that's the end of that sprint. How did you do, my friends? I got all total, just the draft part. I did about 700 words this stream. Um, Let me see what else I did. That's not right. Hang on. Project writing history. I did about a total, I did another 400 words roughly on the supporting material stuff. But so, you know, that just like I'm illustrating that because sometimes we do writing that isn't in the draft that still counts, right? So, yeah. So, how did you guys do that round? Let me know in the chat. So, since nobody answered, I decided that we are going to raid Starborn Striker. Let's see. Ray is still working on notes. I got like 300 words of notes. Do I add these to my overall word tracker? I would. I actually have, so I use Jamie Raintree's tracker, which she doesn't seem to be selling anymore. But I actually have a project that I've named pre-writing. So anytime I'm doing work like notes or, figuring out whatever, magic systems, that kind of thing, that's where I record those numbers. So I see what I work on each specific project on the draft, and then I see how much work I put into the pre-writing of all my drafts as a whole. So, um, so yeah, so I do. I mean, obviously you can do what you want, but I do. That's so smart. I use a tracker that doesn't separate by projects. This tracker is freaking brilliant. You can track up to I think 10 projects, and there's a column for writing and a column for revision. So you can track writing and you can track revision. So and it's divided per month, so every month has its own uh sheet, and then of course you get all these statistics with it. It's brilliant. But I don't know why she doesn't. I haven't checked. Like I checked her site. Let me see. Nope, it's still not working. Um, yeah, she's not selling it anymore, and it was fucking brilliant. So it's a shame. It really is. But anyway, it's super weird because she's still got her other spreadsheets and worksheets and stuff on her website, just not that one. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So anyway, um, okay. Let me go over the events of the coming week so y'all know what's going on. Do 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 do. All right. Tomorrow we'll be doing this again at noon, from noon to 3. Then tomorrow evening, these are all Eastern time, by the way. Tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, we have writing sprints with Amelia. She does she does 30-minute writing sprints, and she goes till about 9 o'clock. On Friday morning at 7 a.m., bright and early, I will not be there, but we have the summer morning writing group with Sarah. Excuse me. She goes from 7 until 8 a.m., so a good hour of writing. Then I will be hosting our usual Zoom TWT co-working session at 1 p.m. We go from 1 till about 2:30. We do 2 30-minute sprints. Then at 7 p.m. on Friday evening, we have writing sprints hosted by Amelia again. And again, she goes till about 9 p.m. On Saturday morning at 11 a.m., James hosts the Saturday Discord sprints. You can pop into the voice channel of the Discord the sprinting section, and James will be there running sprints from 11 until 1. On Sunday morning at 10 a.m., Lisa Raby hosts the Sunday morning write-in. She goes from 10 until 12. Then, as usual, Sunday evening at 7 p.m., I host our Sunday evening discussion. So if you would like to vote on the topic or topics of your choice or suggest a new topic, please pop into the events section of the Facebook group. And then inside the Sunday evening event, there's a post where you can vote. Monday morning, 7 a.m., the summer morning writing group with Sarah again, 7 until 8. Then at noon, Tiffany hosts Kickoff the Week co-working from noon until 2. On Tuesday, we have writing sprints with Amelia again at 7 p.m. in the evening. And then next Wednesday, before this at 7 a.m., we have the summer morning writing group with Sarah again from 7 until 8. And then we'll be right back here at noon to do this again next Wednesday. Let's see. Yes, it is a fantastic schedule. We've got some great folks hosting writing sessions. So I'm super excited. And if anybody wants to host writing sessions, you are also welcome. Just let me know and we'll work it out. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining me as always. You guys always keep me on track, so thank you for that. And I got some words, so that's kind of fabulous. But we're going to go ahead and raid Megan, Starborn Striker. So let me find her on my list. That's not her. That is also not her. That is Egg. There she is, of course, all the way at the bottom. All right. She is editing today, and it looks like she's on a little break. And so we're going to go ahead and set up the raid. So thank you so much, everybody. You guys are awesome. Hang on. We're going to go raid. We'll get some more work done with Megan. All right. Bye, y'all.
In 2018. Heck yeah. I should reread stuff more often, but I have such a huge TBR. Writers Troop! Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Heck yeah. I was just about to say that I was going to go on break, but then I didn't. Welcome, Raiders. I read multiple of those web novels in about 3 days each because I got so sucked in. Heck yeah. I was hearing an interview with Stephen Graham Jones today, and he was like, I don't recognize that number. That could go to my voicemail.